Greetings and welcome to another episode of Arena Frontier here on Gateway Sports. Sorry about that. Broadcasting live through our Facebook page, our X page, and also on our YouTube channel. Boy, we're getting kind of a little bit more closer to the other leagues and when it comes to arena football season here. We're at the beginning of February. At the end of February, we're going to start with the NAL, then pretty soon the IFL, then AF1, AAL, the Arena League, and then, of course, we got the even though curiosity, but also cautious when it comes to the International Arena League. So it's just interesting what's going on. And then, of course, we currently have with the American Indoor Football right now, they had another game with their defending champs, the West Michigan Ironmen, had a game with the I would call just the strictly travel team that faces all the other teams in the AIF, the Pennsylvania Union. This actually was a better game for the Western Michigan Ironmen competitively, at least. It was a blowout, but at least it wasn't just a blang blowout with the other team with the Michigan Falcons barely scoring anything. There was some competitiveness somewhat in this game, but the West Michigan Ironmen once again remain undefeated, winning another game at home, 72-20 over the Pennsylvania Union. Now, because this weekend, of course, is I'm going to say the other term, or else I won't get copyright strike when it comes to the NFL, the big game. So there actually is no other arena games when it comes to AIF for that week. So there is then the West Michigan Ironmen actually, for once, unlike last season, are actually going to travel to another team site, which they're going to face. Let's double check here on February 13th. That, of course, will be, excuse me, it's either next Thursday or next Friday. I have to double check that on the day before Valentine's Day. Smart not putting on Valentine's Day. I think it's actually because the first was Sunday, so yeah, it'll be next Friday. So that's actually quite cool being held. Or wait a minute, or is this at another home game? No, that's incorrect. Yeah, it should be an away game because the Muskies promoted it as a home game for them. So don't know why the West Michigan Ironmen do that, but I'll double check that. So interesting how that goes. The AIF with something either correct or not really correct. So uh, I digress. Now, when it comes to this week, I'm going to inform everyone this is actually going to be a quicker show, and also due to not having any games and probably not really much news when it comes to the week of the big game and, of course, the weekend afterwards. There will be no show next Tuesday, but there will be a show following that Tuesday because now we're getting closer with the National Arena League, pretty much closer to their season, and we'll actually go into the National Arena League right now because they actually announced, and it's kind of interesting because last year with the IFL, they had their own IFL network. They still have it, but because of the whole new deal what they have for streaming games with the Yahoo Sports app, and then some games on FanDuel Sports right now, though I will be cautionary about that too, because FanDuel Sports recently has been hit kind of hard lately. For example, my St. Louis Cardinals behind me here, they actually will not be negotiating with FanDuel Sports, along with a few other baseball teams within the Major League Baseball. And now we go to Major League Baseball Network, and then they actually just announced their own streaming thing for direct to streaming. Then some games, somehow they're going to be depending on your cable or satellite subscription package. So a little bit more on that. So they're going to probably have this deal with FanDuel Sports this year, but IFL, I think probably after this season, they're going to probably look for another streaming partner because, well, at least for the games of the week and stuff, because they are not, they're losing pretty much their assets, and then also they're supposed to be for sale and were supposed to be sold, and yet they haven't. And it's kind of wondering if they actually will be sold now. So we'll get back more to the IFL. So back to the National Arena League, because see, they announced their own National Arena League network here. The National Arena League is proud to announce the launch of the NAL Network, the league's official streaming platform created to make NAL football easier to excuse me, to watch and more accessible for fans everywhere. The NAL will feature live games, full replays, highlights, and exclusive league content in one central location. This new platform allows league to better showcase its teams and players while giving fans more ways to stay connected to the game. The launch of the NAL network marks an important step forward for the National Arena League as it continues to grow, improve the fan experience, and build a stronger future for the league, stated Commissioner Icard. While the NAL Network All Access is a paid subscription, the league is giving fans a way to get their value back. Fans who subscribe to the Access Pass will receive a 20% discount used at the official NHL shop. Help supporters save money on league and team merchandise. This added benefit is designed to reward loyal fans while support both league and its teams throughout the increased engagement and direct fan support. And if we go to their site here, so, question is, how much is it? Because see, it was like $10 a month and $40 a year for the indoor football league. Of course, you got the games, and excuse me, you got the all the regular season games and also replays and some other stuff too. Though, from what I recall, with the IFL Network, you also did pay to watch some of the playoff games, and then right now, if I recall, the IFL network is still there, but I don't know if you actually pay anything yet for like the game replays and stuff, because all their games, most of them are going to be on the Yahoo Sports app that you can get on Roku, your phone, and all that stuff there. And then, as of right now, like I'll explain this a little bit. Right now, the price for the monthly subscription for $9.99 per month, you'll get access to teams, that's on demand. NHL Network monthly subscriptions get monthly access to live and on demand content from the National Arena League, including live games and full replays. This is a 1 month auto renewing subscription. Billing occurs monthly, and we will renew automatically unless canceled prior to the next billing date. Now, the one that they said you get that 20% off is the yearly subscription. Those tend to actually be a lot more cheaper when it comes to all streaming services, quite frank. NAL Oxfest get full year access to live and on-demand content from the National Arena League, including live games, full replays, highlights, and exclusive programming. That's how they're going to get you. This is a season-long, non-auto renewing subscription. As an all-access subscriber, receive 20% off your next purchase at NALshop.com. Access ends at the conclusion of the subscription term, and it expires at the end of the year. So to me, that looks like that should include playoff games. It should, but let's see if it will do that. Now, some other facts here when it comes to National Arena League here that I found. Like for the game replays, it said show post within 24 hours. What content is available on live TV liability depends on rights for each event or channel. Some games or shows may be subject to regional or platform restrictions. Need to be a little more clear on that. Then the one thing that, where was that? It's like it said, which browsers are supported. Current versions of Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Microsoft Edge are supported if you do it online on your laptop or tablet. And then, of course, your old desktop if you still have one. Then apps or devices is interesting here. See, do you have mobile apps, iOS, Android? If available, hit the word if. Download the NHL Network app from the App Store, Google Play, sign with your NHL Network account. If mobile apps are not yet available in your region, you can stream via your mobile browser or connect the TV app. And what are the TV apps that we're doing here? According to this, it is either Roku/Fire TV. NAL Network apps, when available, can be installed from each device's app store. So we at least know for Roku or Fire TV, you will have one. And then smart TV browsers. Some TV browsers work, but we recommend dedicated TV apps or casting for reliability. So there's probably a feature because the IFL Network app had it. You have the game. There's a button there you can cast and it can stream from your phone to your television screen. So that's more likely what's going to happen right there. And let's see here. Nothing about that. That's pretty much it when it comes to the NAL Network. And it's kind of interesting because I swear there were some of us that could swear that the NAL was doing some type of smack talk last year because the IFL Network did something similar to what they're doing. So it's kind of interesting that, well, now you guys are doing a network, though it's a little bit cheaper. So of course, I will say when it comes to this, like it is like doing $30 a year to get all that other stuff doing plus the discount, it's actually better than most other streaming services. Heck, I think most yearly subscriptions are like $100 to 150, if I believe, depending on the streaming service. Like I think like Apple TV is like 100 or something, but then even that you have to buy like I think they don't have the MLS soccer pass or something like that last year, but that costs a little bit more too. So that's going to be kind of interesting here. So it's kind of interesting that now the NAL has their network when they did a little bit of smack talk when the IFL network did theirs. So I guess anything with money and though, of course, with all the added, because regionally, they're all the teams are pretty much very, very close when it comes to the Midwest to the mountain region. So it's like right there, a little bit left, like going left west of Missouri, and then going all the way to Colorado, as that's all the teams there. So I just kind of find that kind of interesting too. So let's see. Next, yes, the IFL. They announced something kind of interesting. They announced the inaugural IFL Cup. The Indoor Football League is proud to announce the launch of the inaugural IFL Cup, a groundbreaking week-long national showcase event to debut in May 2026 at American Dream, the nation's premier indoor entertainment destination designed as a celebration of growth and trajectory of the Indoor Football League. The IFL will bring together elite competition, national broadcasts, and immersive fan experiences, youth programming, a championship finale, and a championship celebration all staged within American Dream, one of the most iconic interviews in the country. It's kind of similar to the Brawl at the Mall with the Arena Football League Championship 2 years ago. So at least this one is a bit more. This is actually planned, and I mean planned. Okay, let's see here. This is a bold step forward for our league, said Todd Tyron, Commissioner of the Indoor Football League. The IFL Cup and American Dream represent everything we believe the future of indoor football shall be. Big moments, national visibility, unforgettable fan experience, and a stage that matches the quality of our athletes and teams. This event is built to elevate our sport, our brands, and our connection with fans across the country. Jared Woodman, president of the IFL Business Division, added, hosting the inaugural IFL Cup, at American Dream, the nation's indoor entertainment destination, is an extraordinary opportunity for our league, our fans, and our broadcast partners, pairing the reach and the power of FanDuel Sports Network, which now is kind of questionable now, with the energy of tens of thousands of fans on site throughout this week-long event creates a one-of-a-kind national showcase. This is a defining moment for the Major League of Indoor Football and a powerful step forward in continuing to elevate our sport on the national stage. We are ecstatic the Indoor Football League is returning to American Dream with the IFL Cup set to take place this spring, said American Dream CMO Adam Petrick. American Dream continues to deliver one-of-a-kind sporting events and live entertainment, offering guests a unique experience setting that can only be found at our property. And this is how the event goes here. We will have 2 games on Monday, May 18th, against the Arizona Rattlers versus the New Mexico Chupacabras at 11 a.m. Then that evening, you're going to have the the Vegas Nighthawks versus the Orlando Pirates, the newly named Orlando Pirates, at 6 o'clock Central Time that evening, so pretty good Monday deal there. IFL Cup Youth Experience All Day Fan and Youth Engagement Program on Saturday, May 23rd. Then on the Sunday, you have the consolation game, so the losers of those two games face each other. Then they'll have the IFL Cup Championship against the two winners on the following Sunday on May 24th. Broadcast breakdown: Brent Stover, Curtis Riggs, Jason Fritz, Mike Babachek, and Kylan Darnell will serve as the broadcast team for all four IFL Cup games, providing comprehensive coverage throughout the week. All IFL Cup games will air nationally on FanDuel Sports Network, delivering coast-to-coast exposure throughout the tournament week. So the IFL Cup will be all on FanDuel Sports. Monday's doubleheader strategic aligned with the Golic broadcast window, further amplifying national reach and visibility. A new tradition begins. The IFL Cup is designed to become a cornerstone event on the league calendar, one that delivers elevated competition, expanded national exposure, and unforgettable experience for fans, partners, and players alike. As the IFL continues growth as a major professional football league, the IFL Cup represents both a celebration of how far the league has come and boasting about where it's headed next. So this is kind of similar to what the NBA is doing, that in-season tournament, if you will. So it's kind of similar to that. Of course, it's only just 4 teams. So it's kind of interesting how this will go here. Interesting to see, check it out, and all that stuff. So I'm actually surprised they're able to implement with the season, and we'll see if how it's interesting how this event will affect the playoff picture too. So at least they got some good teams there going there. And then, like I said, we'll see. As I said, expecting FanDuel Sports to still broadcast it. It's just that the year after, it's like, well, FanDuel Sports will still be in existence. All right, let's go with some signings here. For the IFL here, Arizona Rattlers signed wide receiver Jaden Horace, defensive back Jordan Anderson, linebacker DJ Lundy. They released linebacker Isaiah Major. Then UFL defensive back Mike O'Hare signed with a UFL team. And UFL defensive back cornerback Kalon Kennedy, who actually signed to my Battlehawks right here behind me. Actually returned to the Battlehawks because he was on the team last year. Fisher Freight re-sign offensive line LaQuasin Sharp. The Orlando Pirates activate from IR wide receiver Isaac Zico, signed defensive back Ro Torrance, signed defensive lineman Cheriton Randy. Quad City Steamwellers released kicker Kyle Kaplan. Refused to report offensive line Jacob Daniels. Signed running back Kevin Mozek. Signed offensive lineman Justin Nelson. The Jacksonville Sharks, Peyton Bradley got signed to a CFL team. Activated from IR Jimmy Robinson. Wide receiver defensive back Mark Hawaii got signed. Signed defensive back linebacker Isaiah Major. I think I made a mistake. Oh wait, no, I didn't mix it. They were released from Arizona, but then Jacksonville signed Isaiah Major. That's why I got confused. Re-signed defensive back John Huggins. San Diego Strike Force signed defensive back Isaiah McFlynn and signed defensive back Malik Jones. So that's a bit for the IFL. Nothing much with the Arena Football 1. Then some signings here. Interesting though. So Oceanside signed 2 players that came from Palomar College. Linebacker Donovan Thurman, wide receiver defensive back Elijah Kennedy. They also signed offensive line Hector Norris from Reseedley College. Albany re-signed quarterback Sam Castanova. Though I am glad that he's back with the Albany Firebirds, I am a little disappointed because he was signed before they moved the Memphis Showboat, so I kind of want to see how he did in the UFL. But the team that became that was the Memphis Showboats, I'm assuming I think it was the Louisville Kings that were formerly the Memphis Showboats, excuse me. But They already have a few arena football players. Heck, the quarterback from that played on the Southwest Kansas Storm is actually playing in the UFL. So hooray on that part. The Nashville Cats signed wide receiver linebacker Gabriel Floyd. Kentucky Barrel signed defensive back Jacob Young from Huntington College. Signed quarterback defensive Elridge third from Nectarville University. Released offensive line Colt McCracken from Central Connecticut State. The Michigan Arsenal signed offensive lineman E.J. Price from the University of Kentucky. Defensive lineman Warren Thomas from Midland College, they signed. Wide receiver linebacker DeGrabio Floyd from East Los Angeles College. A lot of colleges in LA. Because trust me, there's an east, west, north, south, and on and so forth. They released offensive lineman from Rodney Ty from southwestern Oklahoma. Washington signed offensive lineman Latrell Golden. Not applicable, didn't know why they put a school there. Offensive line Namande Banks from Elk, Texas College. Release offensive lineman Shamari Williams from South Carolina State. Release wide receiver Mo Strong, no school listed. Release defensive back Quantry Battle from Virginia Union. They signed Burmer McCall from Lewiston University. Defensive back Ahmad Butler from Franklin College. There was a trade. They got wide receiver Quatavius Workman, Sam Houston straight from Minnesota that they got from the Arsenal. And then signed wide receiver Marcus Manuel from Andrew College. So that's it for the AF1. Nothing really much here. And like I said, it was just to do it a little bit quick show. Hold on here. Who's our best player? Not sure who you're talking about here. You have to be a little bit more specific there, Richard. All right, let's see. That's about it for all the signings this week. So nothing really much. Like I said, we had a little bit of the AIF when it comes to West Michigan Iron Face of Pennsylvania Union, and at least so far it's consistent. All their games so far are streamed on directly to their West Michigan Ironman football Facebook page, so which is good. So far nothing on the YouTube, at least no link or I haven't seen anything because I did subscribe to that channel and I haven't really seen any alerts or anything on that. So far, all AIF games for the West Michigan Ironman are on their Facebook page. So one has to assume, but let me be sure, assume we'll just have to see if it does continue to happen that you would assume that all the other games when it comes to the other teams in the AAF, they will also be streamed on their Facebook pages. Or, once again, YouTube is still an option here. And then just a reminder, NAL, all the games look like to be on the NAL Network. IFL, Yahoo Sports app, and then also FanDuel Sports Network. AF1, we do know they still have the Vice deal for a few of their games. The rest of the games have yet to be announced because last year they were on Evergreen now, but that streaming app is pretty much no longer existent. It's gone. It's kaput and all that stuff. Then the Arena League has their own with YouTube mixed in for their fan service thing that's on their website for their games. AAL, I'm going to assume YouTube because they haven't really announced anything TV wise. Then the International Arena League, as of right now, because since they do all their meetings with their commissioner and stuff on their Facebook, I would have to assume that as of right now, it's probably going to be streamed on their Facebook page and probably the teams. There has been a few signings here and there, but it's still kind of finding out what's going to happen there because even with read the contract with Zach last week because this league could be deactivated or closed at any moment, based on how that contract we read with me and Zach. last week. So if you want to look back at that episode, go ahead. So it's going to be interesting and just see what else is happening as well. So we'll just have to see what's going on. And like I said, no games this weekend due to the big game, and then also no show for that following Tuesday, though we'll probably go over the Michigan when the West Michigan Ironman faces the North Michigan Muskies. So I'm actually looking, like I said, looking forward to that one because the West Michigan Ironmen actually are going to be facing an actual team in the AIF League. So no preseason game, no only travel team matchup here. So I'm really hoping for that. So thank you for joining me this evening on Arena Frontier here on Gateway Sports. Make sure to check up on the other programming that we have here. We have, I do believe, rivals of a podcast. We're talking about baseball, especially when it comes to the Cardinals. There's actually some Cubs talk, so be sure to check the links for that on our social media pages on Facebook and on X. And then there's some other stuff, the Stupidest Sports Show, and then some other programs we have too throughout the week. And thank you for joining me this evening, and see you all in 2 weeks.